All right, y'all. In addition to some of the product training that I wanted to go through today, I also wanted to go through this training, which is separate from the other series. It is just identifying different weeds that we have here in North Carolina that you could point out to the customer while you're on their doorstep to make you appear as more of an expert because you know these weeds by actual name. So if you can identify these, a lot of times that'll be something that will at least raise your status a little bit when it comes to speaking to these homeowners. So without further ado, I say that every single video, I need to stop. But let's get into it. So the first one here is chickweed. When you see this in the lawn, it looks like just these little flowers, and it looks a little bit mangled up. But the chickweed, small white flowers, has 5 petals. Doesn't look like those flowers have 5 petals, but this is chickweed. They have hair on either side of the stem, mat forming plant. Oh yeah, forms a mat across the yard, kind of like clover. Found in lawns, gardens, cultivated on roadsides. Really, it comes in because of poorly drained sites, but it can grow in a wide range of conditions. But that's what chickweed looks like. So if you see these little flowers, that's something that you can point out. The next is henbit. Henbit is this purplish flower. It doesn't actually look all that bad when it's in a secluded place. I've had homeowners who have saved just a strip of henbit and kind of cultivated it, but then it also does get into their lawn and kills it. So I guess play with it at your own risk. But a member of the mint family, square stems, heart-shaped leaves, but these reddish purple flowers are what you're going to use to actually identify that very, very easily. A winter annual, meaning it germinates in the fall, so we'll see it a little bit more throughout the winter. You're not going to see it at first when you guys are getting out there because it dies off in the warmer weather, and that's when we can really take advantage. And we want to let homeowners know, like, hey, some of these, like henbit or Poa annua, the annual bluegrass, they die off when the weather warms up. And so a lot of these lawns that have Bermuda can really take advantage of the fact that it is dormant during the summer, and the Bermuda can really spread. So very, very good idea to do that. Appears in thin turf grass that is not healthy, not maintained. So as long as we have a healthy ecosystem in the lawn, then this should be pushed out a little bit easier. But can be spread rapidly. I've seen these just take over lawns. So we want to make sure that homeowners know that if they get this, then they need to take care of it really quickly. Dandelions, everybody knows what those look like. Obviously they have the yellow flower until they're ready to then spread the seed, and it turns into this white flower that kids blow all over the place and get all over your lawn. So these are very, very common. Everybody knows what they look like, and what we lay down for herbicide does treat those. The wild violets, I don't see these nearly as much, but when I do, they really do take over a lawn. And so they're typically another one of those flowers that people think is really pretty and sometimes want to keep it. So that's kind of their preference, but for the most part, people don't actually cultivate this. It just is a weed that comes in and kind of takes over. And then here is yellow nutsedge. If you let it grow out, it gets these little spiky things, but it doesn't really typically look like that. it is usually like this in the grass. And so that is one of the things that will pop up all over the place, and it is a perennial, meaning it lives for more than 2 years, but it goes from tubers and rhizomes underneath the grass and will continue to grow. But this is the biggest thing, is lawns that have poor drainage and are very moist. Those are the ones that you're going to find this weed in. And so we do spray for that, and it is effective, but it is something that continually comes back. So we have to keep fighting it. Wild onion, wild garlic, these are very similar to each other. In fact, they're pretty much synonymous. They're different plants, though, wild garlic and wild onion, but it doesn't really matter. They look the same. They look like little tufts of hair that are poking up through your grass, and so those will come through quite often. I see it all over the place. So they both emerge from bulbs, have grass-like appearance, but again, it's just these little tufts all over the place. They both have distinct smells when they are crushed or cut. So that is the last weed type that is going to be identified here. There's a lot more. We didn't go through, I think we did chickweed, but there's some other things as well that we want to make sure that homeowners know about. But these are the main ones, and you'll be able to pick them out really, really easily in the yard, and we treat for all of those. So use this to your advantage as you're coming up to some of these homes. You want to be able to speak to the weeds by name and really make it appear as though you are the expert. You are on their lawn, you're assessing it, and letting them know what they need to do to take care of some of these problems. So if you have any questions, let me know.